Good afternoon, Bloomington-Normal. Welcome to our very first edition of That's What Teens Say. My name's Jenette Jurczyk. I'm the National Director of the She Said Project, the organization that created this program, and we've been running it successfully in Champaign-Urbana for over 5 years now, and we've been working for many months to bring this program to Bloomington-Normal. I also direct and produce a show called That's What She Said, which was the inspiration for this program, where we empower everyday women to share their personal stories live on stage. And so I've been directing that show in Bloomington since 2019. We have some She Said alum in the house today. And we're bringing that show back in September for our 4th installment. So we've been thank you. We have been so blown away by the support, by the love that we've received in Bloomington-Normal to empower women through this mission of storytelling. And now I'm really, really honored for you guys to see the work that we do with our young people. So on Friday evening, we met a group of teen girls for the first time at 6 o'clock. So we're talking just over 48 hours ago. Most of them didn't know each other. They certainly didn't know me and my mentors. And we've spent a really awesome and intense 48 hours with these young folks, helping them come out of their comfort zone a little bit, discover who they are, write a personal story about their life's experience. And today, in just over 48 hours, they're going to share it for you right here, right now, live on stage. So we do have the show being recorded. We have a YouTube channel that you can find by searching That's What Teens Say. We have a Facebook page, That's What Teens Say. So you can certainly follow along and share these videos when they come out in a week or two. But for now, let's just sit back and enjoy the work that these girls are going to share with you today. And here's the secret. Oh, first I need to thank some people, because today wouldn't be possible without the support of the Normal Community Activity Center, without our sponsors, Little Jewels Learning Center, Busey, and I'm staring at it right now, Synergy Home Care. We want to thank Jersey Mike's and Moe's Southwest Grill for feeding our girls and our staff this weekend. So lots and lots of support came together. Stephanie, our photographer, Mike, our videographer, Kevin, our stage manager. Again, I'm Jenette. Emily is our lead programs coordinator. If you're a parent or a guardian of one of these teens, you have already met Emily by phone and email. Danielle and the whole team. It takes a village to put something like this together. So lots and lots of gratitude coming from me. So here's the secret. When you see a theatrical production, usually you wait until the very end to give your big standing ovation and cheer on the performers. But this weekend's a little different because they have been working so hard all weekend. This performance is just the icing on the cake. So when they come out here, I want you all to get on your feet and cheer them on because they've already done the work. So let's celebrate them and give them the love, because this is not easy. This is a little bit intimidating. So let's show them how much we love them. So please join me in welcoming your very first Bloomington-Normal That's What Teens Say speakers.
Words are easier to put on paper than get out of my mouth. Characters' feelings flow freely while mine refuse to move, buried deep inside me, far out of the reach of spoken word. Telling my own story is difficult compared to telling those of others, but these things can't be bottled up. Some way, somehow, they need to be expressed. So, let's reframe this. James is bright and smiling, an endearing klutz who seemingly never has a bad thing to say about anything or anyone. Patricia goes to church on Sundays and prays before every meal, whispers of God's plan for her, following her every step. Yoko is curious, trying her best to understand and navigate a world that doesn't operate the same way she does. 3 stories, each their own, but also mine somewhere deep down. They're a part of me given a fantastical story, even though I can trace their every struggle back to my own and each step of their journey to something I have experienced, or at least will one day. Characters need growth, something that's only attained by straining and straining against the chains holding them back until they snap. James pulls his knees to his chest, wondering if his breath is something the world would be better off without when all he does is mess things up. Patricia clasps her hands tight, eyes shut in prayer as she begs to know if God hates her for something she can't control. Yoko ignores every stinging comment and wayward glare, because what right does she have to get upset about being told how to behave, how to be normal? The pressure lessens with every word I write, my feelings relishing in the acknowledgement. Every character I create has a piece of my soul inside them. I let the hurt build and build until they break to keep myself from shattering. I am James, curling up in the dark when the thoughts are too much. I am Patricia, voice sore, yet still pushing prayer past broken lips. I am Yoko, filing away every action based on the response I get from others. I am all of these characters, their stories mine in certain ways. Broken, damaged, but that's not where their stories end. James tells his friend everything, letting care reach his cracking heart as they hold each other and cry. Patricia finally feels it, God's holy loving comfort that she refused to believe she was beyond. Yoko learns to smile, to laugh, to exist in space unapologetically. I give them the comfort they need, the advice they need to hear, and as they heal, a tiny part of my soul does too. Emotions are hard, and I can't deal with my own sometimes. James, Patricia, and Yoko exist to feel what I can't let myself feel, to work through them piece by piece until they reach a resolution. Through them, I find my heart, my thoughts, my voice, and through them, I learn how to deal with what I'm feeling. As I begin to love these characters, I also can't help but begin to love myself, even the messier aspects they represent. The author of my story is still writing it, and with each new chapter, I trust the outline for my plot. I am being mended back together by the same cosmic glue that I use to patch up those in the stories I write. I'm finally, earnestly excited to see where the rest of my story takes me, all because I processed myself in other tales first.
Here I am, a girl who longs for purpose like a dog longs for a master. I am a searcher, a wanderer, a pilgrim on waterless oceans. For as long as I can remember, I have been a question asker, a why are we here thinker, a relentless Google searcher. I'm a here I am type of girl, a bound into any room with open arms type of girl, but as soon as I'm alone, I realize there is no I am, there is no I, and there is no here. So I look at them and I see the ways they slip through the days, with crosses on the walls or makeup on their faces, with minimalist halls and shiny new vases, anger bitten between clenched teeth, two different bodies in love-coated sleep. I can see the leaves jumping off the branches one by one, like a mass suicide. I can see all the summers get sick, get withered down to brown grass and the sounds of empty wind chimes. I can dig in the dirt. I can see my grandparents grow older and their eyes get blurry, and I know that will someday be me, so I look in the mirror. And I look in the mirror and I think, how are you even able to eat breakfast in the morning? How are you able to pour yourself orange juice when even the cereal box dies? I can see it now, a dirt-covered Captain Crunch in some suspicious junkyard getting eaten by flies. And so when I'm alone, I look the rabbit in the eye, and I curse the desire of us girls and boys when there is nothing in the whites. And so here I am, a girl who paints over her fatal flaw with loudness and limerence and sparkling pens on a page. I bite at bygones and chew them into a ball, and that will be my future, I say. My sickness is the inability to forget what others find so forgettable. I'm a chronic stare-death-in-the-face type of girl, a why can't you realize what's really going on type of girl. I must say everything that comes into your head kind of girl. Your story was very dark. Is everything okay at home? Type of girl. I look into the mirror and I say, yes, I'm okay. I have a loving mother and a loving father and a loving sister and 3 cats. Why do you think there's something wrong with me for calling things how they are?
I want to thank my wonderful parents, Matt and Elizabeth Reed, helping me through day in and day out with foster care. My story may need you to get a box of tissues. I hope my story will empower kids and teens that are going through or have been in foster care. My birth mom had 2 kids that she could not take care of. People would ask her if she needed help. She would say, nope, I'm good, even when she was not. They had to call the police to come and take me and my sister away from our mom. At the time, I had no idea what the heck was happening to us. I had to move home from home to home. Eventually, I ended up in foster care. I went to a Rice Family Children's Home in Evanston, Illinois. It is a suburb outside of Chicago. There were about 50 children that wanted to be adopted by a family that would take care of them and help them succeed in life. I was scared out of my mind. All the time I was thinking, will a family come and take me in? Every day I was thinking of that same question. I had so many more questions like, is my little sister okay? When I was living there, the first 9 years of my life were pretty crappy. My social worker, Alyssa, told me that there was a family that wanted to meet me. The couple's names were Matt and Elizabeth Reed. They told me that they had 2 boys named Evan and Dylan. I met them and then stood up and said, I want Matt and Elizabeth to be my mommy and daddy. For a while, it was just me, Matt, and Elizabeth. Then eventually, they asked me if I wanted to meet Dylan and Evan. I said yes. The next question they asked me was how would I like to live with them after some visits. I said I would love that. Then on June 5th, 2018, I was adopted by a loving family that would take care of me, and although I would push their buttons, they would still love me. Life with the Reeds was different. Now I had a family, but it was challenging. I was always afraid that they would give up on me. I would always ask that because that is what I remembered happening when I was younger and living with Aunt Sherry and Uncle Jody. I struggled in school. I had to go back to kindergarten a second time, but I kept going. And my new parents kept showing me support in new ways. I got help with my ADHD, and I got a special education plan. It has been 3 or 4 years that I've been adopted. The fear and panic gets less and less. I'm starting to figure out who I am now. I am brave, I am strong and capable, I am extraordinary. I have people who truly believe in me. I am not alone. I hope this can empower kids that are in foster care or that have experienced foster care.
Dear volleyball, thank you for always being there for me and helping me get rid of my stress and showing me how strong I truly am. I hope you will be with me forever. Dear art, you help me calm down when I don't know how to. You were always there for me even when I wasn't. Dear baking, thank you for showing me how to talk to people even without words. Dear hot apple cider family, thank you for being there to warm us up on the night we went trick-or-treating in Minnesota. You showed me there are compassionate people even in the coldest of places. Dear doctor, thank you for helping me when I got sick. You are kind, courageous, and bright, and you've shown me how healthy I am and that I can be anything. Dear school, thank you for being the center of my learning and showing me all the amazing possibilities of the world. You have helped me see how big the world is. Dear teachers, thank you for answering all the questions I was scared to ask. You've helped me see how smart and powerful I am. Dear friends, thank you for being there for me even when I could not be there for you. You've shown me how to be more carefree and less anxious, and that you can have fun while not being stupid, or at least not dangerously stupid. Dear Miss Cannon, thank you for showing me the power that I have and the impact that I can make on others. You've shown me to be more confident in me and to never give up on me. Dear family, thank you for showing me that even if you're not the best, you can always be better. You've taught me how to have fun and be funny, and that you can always help your family. Dear little cousins, thank you for showing me that no matter how small the voice, it will always matter. And that no matter what, you should just be yourself, no matter how silly that is. Dear Nana and Auntie, thank you for showing me that you should treat others the way you want to be treated, with respect and love, no matter what. And that I am beautiful, and that I need no one else's approval as long as I have my own. Dear James, thank you for being the best little boy and brother ever. I will always love and protect you. I know I have a habit of telling people to quiet down and be calm, but you've taught me to let people be who they are and never try to dim their light. Dear Dad, not father, but Dad, thank you for showing me that you should always be yourself no matter how weird that is, and that being weird is a good thing, and that if you're in a world full of crazies, the sane ones will be called crazy. So embrace that sane even if it seems crazy. Dear Mom, you have been with me since day one, and you have never left me. You've helped me get through my rough patches, and I will always try to empower you through yours. You are the best mom I could ever ask for, and you've shown me how to love me, for me, and with me. I'm scared of growing up, but I know you are, and I know you are too. But I love you forever, and no matter what, it will always be us two broke girls. Lastly, dear me, thank you for always being there to hold me up no matter what. No matter what happens in the future or what happened in the past, I will always and forever. You are more loved than you know and more beautiful than you see. You are more than more, and that is enough. You are you, and that is everything. All my love, my beautiful, perfect, weird mind.
I want the freedom to my own thoughts, a mockery made of my passion. I've been dressed forcibly like a fool in my own show. I'm ordered off an endless menu to entertain the audience like a jester on a stage, bound at the feet strictly by the fear of this captor's disapproval. I am the clown with no true devotion to its cause, painting tears rather than triangles as a desperate attempt of rebellion. Shallow grasps at making meaning add up to nothing. Adding water to an empty bottle of soap achieves none but creates an obscenity of worthlessness. Your hands are not any less clean than they would have been before. Like a mass-produced wind-up toy, the potential to change a child's life, but ultimately tripping over loose screws and untied strings. Cheap plastic that smells too foreign. The badger and the vulture are not my associates. I am watched under careful drooping eyes and passive caws. My thoughts are free, but as free as a bird can be in a zoo enclosure. So go on and stuff me with your death-inducing foods. I am the pig with an apple lodged in its mouth, coated with fat and predatory commercialism. Skewer me and burn me at the stake for my crimes, my civil disobedience. I am the chicken in the butcher shop, hung from the ceiling by my legs, publicly humiliated and criticized for being featherless. Animals like clawing money out of people's pockets to climb an invisible ladder, enticing people with loud shrieks and performative loveliness. I don't want to say I'm any different from them, because how can I be? But how on earth can they sit there with glazed eyes and mindless smiles? A badger and a vulture don't need to wear clothes. They don't need to make a change. Just do what they must to survive. Privilege invades like a ringworm, overtaking every cell, every ligament, until all is insignificance. I don't want to tell you a story. I want to express this human experience, this non-compliance, an undefined hatred. That alone must be story enough.
For a long time, I always thought that parents didn't live together because mine didn't. My parents were both young when they had me. From that experience made one parent more mature, but not the other. My mom did most of the parenting for me when I grew up. We grew up together. It made us stronger. She decided to move and raise me and herself in Chicago. For a while, it was just me and my mom, but that changed the day she met her ex-husband, Jay. Jay was in my life for about 8 years, and over time it turned into an unhealthy relationship. He didn't treat us with any respect. So my mom decided to kick him out and file for a divorce. For the next year, my mom and I were kind of like the Gilmore Girls. We hung out, ate terrible food, and we bonded like sisters. That was until she found her Luke. For the first time I met the man who has become my stepdad, I was a little cautious since 8 years can really mess you up. But by the end of the first day, I really started to trust him. From then on, we became each other's best friends, and my mom and him grew a little closer. But I didn't get the happily ever after like every Disney princess. In October of 2017, my dad and I got into a pretty heavy argument, which got the authorities involved, but nothing really changed. It was a difficult few years. Navigating my relationship with my parents, I felt like I was being manipulated by this man who made me hurt my mom. And I felt depressed, and I started acting out at school. My friendship suffered, and it was a rough time. One day I got so sick and tired of being treated like this, I decided to call him up and I told him something needed to change. And he lost his cool, started screaming at me, and told me how much of a horrible daughter I was. And I knew I couldn't keep him in my life anymore. As much as I knew it hurt me, I knew there were people on my side who loved and cared about me as much as they did. My mom and stepdad helped keep me grounded. I found therapy and medication. I get to be my goofy self and don't mind if my dad treats me like a little kid, even if I'm a junior now. The day my mom got married, I truly realized I had two parents who loved and cared about me, and I knew they would never leave my side. Even though it's been a few years since I last talked to my biological dad, I can now say with a full heart, I forgive you, and I hope one day we can rebuild this relationship. But for now, I always have someone on my side who will be with me no matter what.
2020 was a year for me as it was for all of us, especially with it being the second year of the pandemic. With all the crazy, scary things going on, my mental health shifted. Now, before the pandemic, I was a typical, normal, you could say pretty happy teen. A day in the life of mine before the pandemic looked like making TikToks, dancing for hours, going to the park to socialize with and make friends. I was very active physically and successful in school. Fast forward to 2020, not only the year of the pandemic, but also the year of virtual learning, which I absolutely hated. One, because I wasn't used to it, and two, because it wasn't my learning style. At this time, I felt school wasn't about learning and more so became about the assignments and due dates. My grades started to slip, which was a shift for me because I have a history of good grades and I was an honor roll student in 6th grade. School and family problems started to take a tremendous toll on me. I became depressed in the summer of 2020 right before school. I became very isolated and closed off from the world. What depression looked like for me was being in bed all day, not eating at all, or once if it was a good day. It looked like becoming antisocial. It looked like random breakdowns during the day. It looked like struggling and not having the energy to get up and do simple things like take care of my hygiene or eat. I didn't feel heard or seen at this time. I felt my own parents didn't even see the changes within me, which hurt me the most, because it's like, how can you not see your own child's cry for help? How can you not see that I'm dying on the inside every day? While in this depression, social media was really the only thing that helped me. It was really TikTok that had most of my attention. During this time, I was introduced to spirituality through TikTok, which I find pretty ironic. While doing my research on TikTok, I found spiritual practices that I learned to enjoy, including journaling, meditation, and yoga. These 3 things are the main things that helped me crawl out of my depression. I also started to work out on a daily basis, which really helped. Reading self-improvement books on a daily also helped. What I learned from my depression was that you cannot become your emotions and you shouldn't consume them either. I learned that the best thing to do is feel your feelings and let go, because that's what life is. I learned it's okay to not be okay. I learned you're not alone even when you believe you are. You got it, baby. I also learned that the cycle of life is down and up, good and bad, happy and sad.
Wait, take a breather.
If you're down, remember the only way is to go up. If you're in a dark space, light will eventually come, because there is no light without dark. No matter how many times you fall, get back up, because it's not about how many times you fall or how hard you fall. What matters is that you get back up, and your comeback is going to be harder than your setback, because life goes on, so you have to as well. Moral of the story, we're all here to love, and that's what I believe we should do, because you never honestly know what's going on with someone, no matter what they present to you on the outside. This life is what you make it. You are loved, you do matter, and you are cared for, even if you have no one in your life that tells you that. You matter, and I love you. No matter what battle you're fighting, you can win. You will win, and it won't be overnight. Regardless of age or color, mental health is very serious, and we are all deserving of emotional and mental support.